She is the worst offensive player.
She's not very offensive competent,
so
bro.
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese's missed layup.
Generational meme.
To lose the game. Here it is. Here's the video.
She
can rebound everything, but bro.
Angel Reese, possibly the greatest basketball player in the history of America. Oh, wow. Look at those moves. Yeah, that shot is really hard with the hoop wide open.
Who's the best player in the country?
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
With her arms out and her mouth hanging open, Angel Reese stood in the center of the canvas, yelling at her own partner to move aside so she could work. That's the picture that's currently making the rounds. Furthermore, the timing of its viral success could not have been worse. Minutes after she insisted on having that much room, with no one within 3 feet of her, Reese failed to catch the ball despite having a clear view of the rim.
A key three. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, ATL is going to actually win this game. And then we get down to the end of regulation, you guys. And I'm like, okay, Ron Howard, open three. She's going to hit it. No, she does not. Angel, you got it. Put back layup, game winner. No. And then Nas again caught it, put it up. No. I'm just like, oh my God, like, are we serious? How does that happen? And all of you guys, baby, my girl, Angel. All right. Back up off her, okay? Like, back up off of Angel. We know that she missed that layup. We get it.
In overtime, the Indiana Fever defeated the Atlanta Dream in the match. And many viewers were wondering the same thing by the time the last bell went off. What occurred when the room was actually granted to her if she need that much space only to fire a shot?
The Dream have the ball for the last shot, game's tied, and Angel Reese has a bunny layup basically by herself, uncontested, and she cannot make that layup. She had 14 rebounds yesterday, 5 of them offensive. I'm not sure how many were off her own misses because I was at camp and got home for the end of regulation and then overtime. But her making that or missing that layup, you just knew. And she looked kind of crestfallen, and she should be because you ought to be able to make a damn layup.
Inside that Atlanta locker room, that moment has become the focal point of a larger discussion regarding Angel Reese's true identity. Is she the outspoken, demanding leader she aspires to be? Or, after the ball returns to her after this game, is she a player whose volume on the floor has begun to surpass her output? That question won't go away on its own.
And if your best player for Atlanta could make a layup, I wouldn't have this gleeful smile that I have on my face right now. It's a layup. You're 1 foot away. Make it, please. You have a fast break layup by yourself early in the game. How you shoot fast break layups fast break layups by yourself at 50%? I don't know. I can't explain it. But Caitlin Clark, 26 points today.
This isn't a little notation tucked away in the box score. This plot, which has little to do with Indiana's depth or Caitlin Clark's shooting, may be the most significant one to emerge from the entire Fever versus Dream rivalry this season. It concerns whether Angel Reese's colleagues have subtly reached a breaking point with her. Reports and responses from Atlanta have drawn an image of a team that is worn out. Not necessarily from losing games, but more from feeling as though they are continuously reorganizing themselves around a single player who, once the ball is back in her hands, does not always deliver. It takes time for that level of annoyance to develop. One item at a time, one lost bunny at a time, it accumulates until it finally pours out in front of the cameras, visible to everyone at home.
Angel Reese, in particular, her energy shifted. I thought when she got some of those easy baskets to go in the paint.
Let's go back to Angel really quickly, though, because she was part of the catalyst that you saw to be able to change things around.
It's been there. Like, sometimes the basket is too open.
I can't believe we had to listen to that garbage the entire halftime, the entire broadcast of the game while she is blowing the easiest first grade 1-inch layups you'd ever see. And Caitlin Clark is out there hitting logo bombs in her face, dropping 26 and 9 for 12 straight games. Instead of saying she's playing at an MVP level, they're out here glazing Angel Reese just like her fans do on social media. Caitlin Clark gets no love, not considered in the MVP conversation, will be the only player in WNBA history to be top 3 in points and number 1 in assists. And they're sitting here glazing Angel Reese. It's all about Olivia Miles and Paige Beckers, which her team's winning. She's breaking all the records.
For Atlanta supporters seeing things play out, this is the moment that hurts the most. If you pay great attention to the pattern, It nearly seems like a self-written joke. Reese yells at a teammate to get out of her path. The teammate shifts. In that open area, she gets the ball. The exact configuration she requested. Additionally, she places the ball in a position where no one on the floor could use it for anything constructive, rather than taking a controlled shot or making a clever, straightforward pass. Nobody at all. Not a rebounder crashing in from the weak side, not a teammate under the rim. That's where the possession just dies. That type of possession does not bolster the argument she has been attempting to make for herself as a player who has spent a large portion of this season talking about being a vocal leader and facilitator for this Atlanta club. I am aware that everyone claims that mic and drills are ineffective for basketball, but Angel Reese is the one person on the earth who must perform mic and drills till their wrists fall off. I have never witnessed a human musician consistently miss so many point-blank layups. She doesn't see everyone, Angel Reese. She missed the game-winning shot, I see. She has perspiration on her palms. No, she always misses regular lays. Her missed point-blank layups are the cause of her tiny putbacks and millions of rebounds. Does she have a left hand? Because it is always right-handed. I can acquire it, I swear, using the identical coverages she must pass. I'm capable of doing it. Regular father of 3, correct? I can accomplish it. I can assure you that I could shoot Angel Reese at the basket with a higher percentage. When a player speaks up on the floor, fans usually don't mind. People find it more difficult to tolerate when a player demands possession, gets exactly what she wants, music, and then wastes it entirely. Whether or not it is stated aloud in a press conference, that is the kind of recurring trend that subtly begins to alter how teammates view an individual during a timeout huddle. After another possession failed, cameras captured other instances where teammates appeared to exchange brief, silent glances. No one raised their hands in a dramatic manner. Although players are taught to maintain their poise, body language rarely tells the whole truth. And just as much as anything spoken at the podium thereafter, the nuanced reactions on that bench communicated their own narrative. I have no idea how you guys manage. I'm not sure how you guys defend her. In the fourth quarter, the score is 81-81. There are 6 seconds remaining. This game might be won by the Atlanta Dream. Then this takes place. 5 seconds. Howard launches really missed it. The putback won't go, Reese. No, Hillman. Like, I really don't get it. Angel Reese plays basketball professionally. How come she misses so many layups? Look. When you first start playing basketball, layups are similar to the second thing you learn. First, learn how to dribble a basketball. The coach will then show you how to shoot off that square by taking you to the exact block where she missed the layup. However, I don't believe she was taught anything at all. That game, she lost them. That game, she lost them. You guys are free to say anything you want. The game would have ended if she had made that layup. The game is over. I was at a loss for words. It was an easy layup. That's if you don't believe it was very clear. She was closely followed by Aaliyah Boston. She had a chance to make the layup. The moment that truly determined the game's result then arrived. Atlanta had the perfect opportunity in a tough road setting, with the score knotted and the clock running out in regulation. With a clear, unobstructed view of the hoop and no one nearby to contest the shot, the ball made its way to Reese. With 3 defenders closing in, this was hardly a contested off-balance heave. With the season narrative hanging on the outcome, it was as transparent as it gets in a professional basketball game. She didn't see it. The rebound immediately returned to life. In the last seconds of play, teammates Ryan Howard and Naz Hillman both rushed for a follow-up try but failed to connect. Atlanta had lost a fantastic close-range opportunity in the worst way imaginable, and regulation ended in a draw. Your squad is now on a 17-4 run, Angel. That began with a 70 run. How did you sort of start your team's musical endeavors? Yes, I was playing at first, but it's a run-based game. Just because you know your teammates would support you doesn't mean you should put that in your back pocket. Pushed just far enough under the rim to create a poor angle. We head to OT. Afterward, the look of frustration on her face conveyed everything that words could not. She was obviously unhappy with what she saw as she stood there for a moment with her eyes closed, mentally repeating the photo. It is difficult to quickly recover from missing a shot like that in front of a full arena with a rivalry plot looming over the afternoon. However, expressing obvious annoyance after the fact does not reverse what has already occurred. The overtime period that ensued, during which Indiana gradually and steadily withdrew, was undoubtedly not undone. The worst thing about her missing this game-winning opportunity. She may not have missed it. It's her response to missing this. Bro, Caitlin Clark is laughing as she walks by. You are all aware of the nature of these two fan bases. even though they are adoring this image. I find it bothersome primarily because it makes it so simple to ignore anything else she accomplishes on the court. She's amazing both defensively and clearly in terms of rebounds, bro. All I need is for her to correct this so they can say something different. Within minutes after the last bell, this was what truly ignited social media. Cameras captured Caitlin Clark strolling smoothly by Reese toward the Fever bench while she was still analyzing her miss, her smile apparent. Additionally, it appeared to many spectators who were watching live to be laughing at the whole thing. It's impossible to pinpoint exactly what Clark was responding to at that moment. However, context is important in this case, and regardless of how you cut it, it is terrible for Atlanta. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark was the precise matchup that the internet had been speculating about for weeks. Another round in a rivalry that Atlanta had really won earlier in the season. Reese appeared as though she wanted the floor to swallow her whole, while Clark appeared cool, collected, and totally in charge in the one crucial moment when everyone was watching, especially for this kind of plot. That's the exact element that instantly transforms a straightforward missed shot into an unavoidable viral moment. Reese didn't just miss the layup. For millions of people swiping through their phones, Clark's face, whether deliberate or accidental, became the ideal visual synopsis of the entire afternoon. When it mattered most, one player delivered. There was one player who did not perform at all. The cameras just so happened to record both emotions simultaneously, and the internet took care of the rest. Is it absurd to suggest that she's not good? Angel. Yes, her basketball skills are lacking. I mean, I'm exhausted. Look, we've already stated this. I'm over it. I am no longer able to lie. I saw her miss 8 layups, for example. If she could make a layup, her average might be around 25 or 26. Additionally, the way she arranges it suggests that she is still learning how toddlers occasionally trip and fall when they eventually learn to walk. She seemed to have just learned how to make layups after joining the WNBA. I don't understand it. She could be so much better, really. Additionally, she talks about her experiences as a musician with her own podcast. You would assume that she is the MVP. You would assume she was the girl from Vegas. However, she resembles a FUD more than a homegirl in Vegas. Yes, there is that. She has been an ineffective musician. She's grabbing rebounds, but those are her shots, so I think we're hyping her up. This is precisely the point at which the disconnect becomes noticeable. On the surface, Reese recorded her 23rd double-double of the season. Only a few feet away from a WNBA record that has been discussed all year. At first sight, 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists seem like a solid stat line. Following the buzzer, a lot of media attention concentrated on those precise figures, portraying her performance as yet another illustration of her resilience and dependability. However, when you go deeper, the image quickly shifts. She only made 5 out of 16 field goals. Before halftime, she missed 6 of her shots. During the whole fourth quarter, when a team needs its frontcourt scorer to perform, she was held without scoring a single point. She also failed miserably on the 2 most crucial possessions of the afternoon, the 2 opportunities that could have finished the game in regulation. Consecutively. That is the true difference between what actually transpired while the game was in the balance and the eye-catching headline stat line. During a broadcast, a double-double appears stunning when seated inside a highlight graphic. When the player associated to it finishes scoreless during crucial moments and misses the crucial shot that ultimately determines the result, it means much less in the locker room. An opportunity to win at regulation, but it simply didn't work out. We had to attempt to compete in overtime after that. I felt that players make a great effort to carry out the game strategy, particularly on defense. It's just disappointing to fail, you know. All we had to do was go on to the next play. We didn't run the one screen that was meant to be there, and we kind of forgot about it, but that's what we did. However, we told those 2 to really crash the boards and give us another chance after Reese took the shot, and they both complied with our requests. Then, at the very end of the game, we had 2 looks that could have won it for us, but they rolled out. It was a bit of a horrible break. During his post-game press conference, head coach Carl Smemesco attempted to maintain composure. The way coaches are taught to react following a devastating defeat, yet if you watch the video again, you can see the frustration that was present the entire time. Reporters continued to bring up that last possession. And each time you saw him carefully selecting his words, you could almost see him suppressing a more intense response. Even after the reporters had moved on, he kept bringing up the game's last minute throughout the press conference, seemingly unable to let it go. When a coach repeatedly returns to the same closing stretch without being asked, it usually indicates that it is bothering him much more than his calm demeanor is revealing. We know that Angel will make the shot at any other time. She is certain that she will make the shot, but you have to support your teammates at that precise moment. We didn't lose the game to anyone. It's a collaborative effort. We support Angel in the same way that she supports us when we're having difficulties. It's a sisterhood, after all. Like, we genuinely care about and encourage one another. I'll risk everything to ensure that she will succeed the next time she is given a shot like that. I have complete faith in Angel's ability to complete her vaccinations, even though this time she was a bit short. In that circumstance, teammates performed precisely as they are taught and supposed to. It happens that no one single person lost the game, that it was a collective team effort from start to finish. Alicia Gray, who scored a career-high 32 points in the losing effort, publicly defended Ree in an interview with media following the game. After a difficult defeat, that is the appropriate professional locker room-approved statement to make. Additionally, it sounds like complete unity at first glance. However, pay close attention to what is absent from that quotation. There was no denying that Reese's miss was the game's most significant moment. No one claimed that the loss was unrelated to her in particular. The subsequent rebuttal was skillfully crafted to publicly defend a teammate without actually changing what everyone in the building had just witnessed firsthand. I mean, I believe we're playing fairly well at the moment. We feel quite pleased about the team's direction, and I believe that many of our players are performing well. Now the road trips are difficult, and I mean the first thing we have to do is drive to Vegas and prepare for. I feel comfortable about our team, though, you know? Obviously, a lot of folks played some really intense minutes, so tomorrow we'll need to take a day off and sort of relax. It's likely that tomorrow will only be a filming session. Then, if we're going to be Vegas, we'll need to prepare to put in the same level of work that we did for the majority of today. When you take a step back from each individual game, this is when the larger picture begins to take shape. Ree's desire to be seen as a true vocal leader on this team has been quite transparent throughout the season. Someone who manages traffic, communicates continuously, and holds teammates responsible in real time. On its own, the instinct is perfectly acceptable. During high-stress games, many excellent players in the league can be noisy and demanding of their teammates. When the results don't reliably support the volume, the problem becomes a serious one. This season, she has freely acknowledged that she has played poorly at times. At halftime of this particular game, she even expressed her belief that she had begun poorly and that she needed to make immediate corrections. The connection between a player who consistently demands space on the floor and a player who does not always convert once that space is given to her has been made by fans and apparently, some voices inside the locker room itself. Over the course of a lengthy season, that particular combo is precisely the kind of thing that subtly erodes trust among a team over. Being demanding of your teammates is one thing, but when you routinely produce outcomes that amply support that demanding tone, it is quite another. When the ending does not consistently follow game after game but the demanding continues at the same loudness, it is entirely different. Particularly during the crucial moments that ultimately determine the team's outcome. In their previous encounter this season, Atlanta had defeated Indiana handily, and Ree had played a truly powerful and effective part in that victory. The rising rivalry storyline has made the stakes notably higher and the attention much larger this time. When it mattered most, she failed, and Clark just didn't. The one piece of advice I will provide, though, is that a lot of women's basketball players in the WNBA don't finish their layups wide, like outside their bodies, for whatever reason. It's all like being up in the cylinder. You are aware that many people despise basic things like the microphone and drill. I believe that's all Angela is lacking, just a tiny touch, and that once she gets it, she'll be performing incredible numbers because she's making progress. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's perhaps the best player in the league if you combine 20 points and 15 rebounds. None of this indicates that Angel Reese's career is over, nor does it negate the double-doubles or outstanding rebounding totals she has quietly accumulated during the season. She remains one of the league's top rebounders based on her overall body of performance. Furthermore, months of steady creation on the glass are not erased by one hard overtime loss. However, once something this obvious occurs in front of so many cameras, perception inside a locker room can change very quickly. And losses like this one, which have received so much national attention, tend to accelerate rather than slow down that change. When teammates begin to feel as though they are continuously making way and sacrificing their own touches for a player who does not regularly reward that sacrifice when it matters most, dissatisfaction usually starts to grow silently behind closed doors until eventually spilling out into public view. For the remainder of this season and possibly beyond, Atlanta's coaching staff will have to make a serious decision regarding the distribution of crunch time possessions. Carl Smemesco and his team won't find it much simpler to make a clean decision after such a difficult defeat in a game with such high awareness. Additionally, the rivalry between Indiana and Caitlin Clark is not going away anytime soon. Not with the way both teams continue to clash on the calendar and how both fan groups continue to magnify any interaction between these two players. Everyone involved in this story will be keeping a close eye on the next meeting between these two teams to see if Reese truly responds to this moment with progress, or if the same annoying pattern just keeps happening in front of an even larger audience.